Okay, just do a bit my introduction about myself. So my name is Ian, Ian Ng. I actually based in Singapore. Although I based in Singapore, I was born in Malaysia. Okay, today I want to share this topic. I don't want to make it to be a lesson or lecture because that's not what meant to be. I got 26 slides. I think I'm not going to cover all of them, but maybe some of them I will just run it through quickly. But hopefully, I think the second half, I would like to have a dialogue session with all of you because I think all of you will have a lot of questions. You might have a lot of questions. You might have a lot of questions for your children. Can they use it? Can they what? Or can I? I think, but today we want to focus on the church ministry, right? Now, before I go into that, just a quick show of hands. How many of you are currently serving in the church? Either you are volunteers or you are full-time staff, part-time staff. Oh, I got the first one to raise hand. So who else? Okay, I think about half or slightly less than half. Okay, so the rest, I guess you will be maybe helping out or sometimes ushering in the church, things like that, right? But not so much doing some documentation paperwork, right? Okay, got it, right? Now, show of hand, how many of you are already using ChatGPT, Gemini, whatever? Okay, either for personal or for work or whatever. I think majority. Okay, good. I think then second section will be very meaningful. I will reserve a second section. Half of it will be having more dialogue. I think that's the purpose why I do it with the church. I conduct training. Of course, conduct training for my church, for some mission organization. That usually I will do it on pro bono. That means moloi lah. Okay, yeah. But I think that's a part of me I serving God. Okay, so apart from that, I actually run online and physical courses for different businesses in Brunei, Singapore. Malaysia, we did once. Hopefully, we have more. Okay, a bit of my background. Other than that, I was grown up in Malaysia. Now, I'm not representing at NUS, the School of Computing, because I did my IA courses there. So, okay, before I go into the subject, I've been also serving in the church as a deacon for over about 15 years. So I know very well about the tension between the pastoral side and the management side of it. All right, hopefully I can bring up some of them. So I have 15 years serving in church as the deacon. I took out as the treasurer, secretary. I actually lead the worship team, ministry, things like that. So I think with this kind of experience, I hope that I'm able to share my perspective about can AI serve the church? Okay. Now today, this question still debating. All right, there's no consensus. All right, today I'm not seeking any consensus about view. You will have your own view. I will have my own view. I think today we are just about sharing. Importance about sharing. Have an open mind to how we should see it as an AI. Okay, so open-minded, no prejudice about AI or what. Right, we all. Brother and sister in Christ, we all learn a bit here. You think today is not useful, it's okay, right? You think it's useful, praise the Lord, okay? Right? Today we only have 1.5 hours, but to see how I can do it, right? Now, I think first of all, before we look about AI, something is like, oh, it's going to be very evil, it's going to be something that I do not understand. Okay, now at this point in time, I would like to see the AI is just another piece of technology. Okay? Another piece of technology, of course, it actually impacts life. Okay? It impacts your life, somehow it impacts our life, our children, the way how we do work. Okay? If I bring up some of the old story, in the early 20th centuries, 1900. Now, how was the car? Imagine the automotive revolution. In New York, I remember that 1990, there's a picture about New York on the street. That all of them with a lot of what? horse carts. The carriage that pushed by the horse. That was a picture I remember. I think I have a picture, but no time to show. You see the road, 100% the horse pushing the carriage, right? That's the main transportation. Within 10 years later, about 1910, 80% of the road are all the mechanic car. You remember the mechanic car? Those that, Charlie, those that you have to then run, right? Okay? Within 10 years, big change, right? I would say mechanical engineering, is just one piece of technology at the time, but it has changed the way how people commute, okay, from one place to another. Of course, today we have EV, but later on we come with the petrol, combustion car, now we've got EV, things like that. Now, look at the AI as something like this, okay? Inevitably, you cannot stop it, but it will come in. But how do we able to leverage or make full use of it? Not fear, but you just take it as a piece of technology at the moment, right? Okay, if we go now into that, my purpose for the church ministry, the use of any piece of technology, including AI, it has to come from something hopefully it can help us to do our work better. You could be a pastor today, or you could be the administrator, maybe Rose will be administrator. But how we can use this piece of technology to help us to serve people better, to do the work better, so that we can glorify the Lord in a better way, right? So hopefully we'll come in and the AI is to try to release a bit of tension between, okay, the time always not enough, everything is still not right. How can we actually allow us to release our more time spent on administration, we call administration folk. How we piece through, cut it down, and then spend more time in the pastoral calling, taking care of the people needs and things like that. So I think that should be the correct beginning and setting as we look at the AI, right? On the business, today I'm not covering from the business angle. You will talk about productivity, things or that. I think we all know, but today we focus on God ministry, right? So, yeah, I think that's the main, overarching what we want to do is so that you are an administrator, you are a pastor, you are a pastoral staff. Hopefully, you can really spend more time focusing on the calling, on the praying for the people, preaching, right, touching life. That should be the motivation of using the AI. Okay, would that fine with you? Right? So, people always sometimes ask, okay, what's the AI? If I'm going to ask some of you who are daring to shout out, what is the AI to you? What's the AI to you? Just a short word, but not a definition. Fast, okay? Information, something who know everything, right? Helper. Sister, okay. Wow, I see a lot of different variation. Pastor, you want to say? Assistant, okay. There's no right or wrong, huh? But definitely it's not your soulmate, okay? Because it doesn't have soul. Okay, I will touch on that. It doesn't have soul. Don't worry, it doesn't have soul. And my wife or your husband, your wife will not get jealous, all right? I talk to AI quite a lot because of my work. I have a different helper, or in the different, I separate them. I don't mix them. It's something like separate container. If I need something, I will reach out to this. I don't give a name because not my pet. I don't have a name for each of them. But I have a different things. I go to different set of AI. I ask questions. So it plays a very different role. But definitely it's not a soulmate. It's not so. It can't help you. They look at the faces. They will not initiate to talk to you. Are you okay? You feel very sad. If a day-to-day AI like this, I'll get very scared. Right? He doesn't have a sense of surrounding, okay? I will take it today. I will want to remind it. The AI is your MBA intern. MBA intern who just studied Stanford or Harvard MBA school, a lot of knowledge, but very few life experiences. Okay? Suddenly, intern who want to decided to have internship with you. Okay? Think about that. That's all, right? All right. So what is AI? Okay, AI is not a conscious entity, all right? Yeah. But it's just a mathematical prediction engine. Now, what does it mean? The AI is like, it's just that the capability is just able to predict string of words. Okay? In the Chinese, we call 文字接龙游戏. That means you just predicting one and follow the other. Okay? Now, I treat every one of you are all here, right? So if I ask you, right? Okay, I give an input. The Lord is my. If I'm going to ask a survey, every of you, what should be the next words? Because you're all trained on the Psalm 23, right? Because you only have that piece of information with you. All right? 100% will say, shepherd. Okay. But think of it, AI is not only have about 40, 60 of you. There's millions of you. And each of you very capable about the language. Okay? Maybe some of you are, sorry, just the assumption, just for the egg, you are maybe is a Buddhist monk. Maybe you have another religion. You are Shakespeare's expert, right? Where if for some of you will come from a very different background, different literature background, expertise, it will ask all of you, the Lord is my, here might have a very different story. Because some of you will say this, some of you will say, right, that, right? So as a machine, how do you decide what's the next words? It goes by probability. The highest, and I check around, I do a lot of calculation, the highest percentage, I will take the higher percentage is shepherd come out to be higher percentage probability of the next word to appear, then I will just start it. Okay? Now, this process is going to carry on in the millisecond. Very fast. So it will keep reading. The AI is just reading first. The Lord is my shepherd. Okay. Predicting the next words. The Lord is my shepherd. I depend on the version of the Bible, right? Okay. Again, most of you will say I. Okay, I will take it as I. The next thing is, I ask again. The Lord is my shepherd. I. Okay. Majority. The Lord is my shepherd. I shall. Okay. You know what I'm trying to do is, this is how the machine AI are doing it. But they're doing it in a split of, we talk about millisecond. Okay, millisecond. 1 second, they can generate about 5 to 6. About 1 or 2 or 3 words. Okay, they're just a very expert. So you can see, you talk to ChatGPT, right? You can see they're not coming up with the one go, plah. You see, they start a typewriter, right? They are doing just prediction on their way, all right? So I think this is what the AI we are dealing with. It doesn't have the soul. It doesn't have a conscious. They are just a machine that so smart they're able to predict all the words. Of course, they can do it at one go, 5,000 words, imagine. It means they can write an essay for you. Just by giving one hint. I just type one word, he can actually predict 5,000 words or 4,999 words subsequently, things like that. All right? So I think this is what the AI is about. Of course, you need a very powerful compute to do this. We're talking about that. All right? So, because it's a large language model, right? Basically, they just calculate what is the highest probability the next words to appear based on your instruction. There's not an instruction there, all right? And just a mere engine, it doesn't have a soul, all right? Okay, just with that. Don't worry about that. You think that it has a certain own self-conscious about you or things like that. They do not have. But they are very expert in a lot of knowledge. Okay, So if I were to, from my experience, when I talk to many churches, my friend, Christian, pastor, I talk to the Bible college lecturer friends who are working in the Bible college as a program dean, director. We always try to understand about the AI, how the AI can be used in education, how can you use it in church, things like that. Today is still ongoing, right? There's no consensus, but today I just probably to share with you the different perspective of it. But I think this is what I have actually organized and put it together. I would say that I think in the church ministry, in all the administration role, pastoral in the church, I will break it down. There are two categories. The one, I believe you can use any technology or AI or tool, whatever, which can help you to do some of the work. Like, you can use it to structuring some outlines of data. The data outlines I could be referring to biblical context, can be referred to the management context, which is more about operations and things like that. So I think it's pretty good on, you can actually get AI to help you to structure. I would say they are even much better than most of us here, right, to do it. Summarization, the lengthy text, right, that's something they do a pretty good job on that. Especially you use more advanced model, the summarization, the accuracy is pretty horrifying, right, because of that, right. Of course, I would say that horrifying means doesn't mean 100% accurate. But even humans are doing the summarization. I don't think you will be confident to say that I'm 100% able to summarize the particular text. Or anyway, just a different perspective or angle you look at the text, how you summarize it, right? Right. So I think that we can use it to summarize a long text, help us to do a bit of framing. We call it framing. They say you want to have a bit of sharing, maybe the Bible study, if a CG leader, if you're running as a CG. I'm not equipped with the seminary trained, but I have a heart to serve, but I'm afraid that I don't know how to do it. The AI can be your assistant, give you a framing, suggest this is something you could consider when you do the flow or Bible study flow or sharing, right? So they can do a pretty good job on that. Okay, generating a volunteer schedule. I think this is very much into the administration. You organize your retreat. Do you have a retreat or church camp? Right? Nobody wants to be the chairperson of the group, right? We always try to Hokkien called siam, right? It's so much work, right? Yeah, holding the whole, like, bringing the Egypt out, Israel out of Egypt, right? You bring a whole group of church members to another place, you ensure the foods are okay, their safety and things like that, right? Nobody wants to be chairman. In my life, I done 3 times for the chairperson. I said enough, right? No more already. It's just a very taxing to do it, okay? But you can use it to do a little more like planning, scheduling, things like that. A lot of administration, I believe you can use it to do as well. Brainstorming and illustration. Now, the brainstorming it's a very interesting concept, okay? Now, I ask most of even the people come to my class, they will say, hey, what do you use the AI for? I use AI something like Google search, right? I just want to have an answer, just give me an answer, right? Sorry. Just Google search, what is that? What is that? Can I do this or things like that? I think that's not the correct way of working with the AI, okay? The correct way of working with AI, it should be something like, first of all, you need to correct your mindset first. You need to position yourself very well first. It's not your soulmate, but what should the AI be? The one in the computer. You have to position yourself well first, right? If you position wrongly, then you will not get a very good result. If you position you are the master or you are the main person, but you have the assistant, or today we talk about MBA, you have an MBA intern with you who want to work with you for 0 salary, right? No annual leave, no complaint. Okay? But he will do all he can to give you all the things that you want. Okay, so you can use it to brainstorming. You say, I don't know how to talk to a certain group of people. I don't know how to handle certain group of people, or recently I had a bit of problem with blah, 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 the problem. Again, you can strike the conversation with it. Okay? Now, actually, you see, the whole of it is not that, of course, ultimately, you really want to give you some solution to it, right? Now, I think the solution doesn't mean a lot of things, but the process itself, right? You will learn more about yourself. Okay, I don't know whether you know what I'm talking about. That means when you talk to AI, don't always look for the final answer. That's not the point. The point is you need to get someone to help you to sort out your thoughts. 可以吗? You have to sort out your thoughts. You can throw a problem. Then he will very good and help you to, but you can tell, don't give me the answer. Guide me step by step. Is my thinking wrong? Is my assumption wrong? Is my perception is wrong? And then that's where you learn. Okay? I think just about happened about a few days ago. I just had this brainstorming session. It just asked about, he know a lot of my vulnerabilities. He know a lot of my weakness. Anyway, my weakness is because I always have this conversation that I think I can't remember the topic is something a bit technical, a bit I don't understand because I have a bit of very. It's about AI, certain things. I don't quite understand about my understanding. Maybe understanding this might not be correct. Then I have this conversation with that. I share with it, this is what I thought. Please comment or please openly tell me what you think and what is my blind spots. Okay? Now, they do a pretty good job. It's just their MBA student had done all the study of all the psychology, what they have, right? And they do a very good job to unpack your minds, your weakness, and then share with you, this is, your thinking intends to work towards this. That will bring you it would be potentially the problem that coming from here. They will not be very exactly tell you that's what, they are not a doctor, right? They just probably point you, maybe you can think about the angle, that would be some of the things that you can work on. Okay, so I think this is something that I want to share as I go along. So brainstorming, do some illustration here. It can be, they're very good at creating story. You know, sometimes pastor, they like to have opening, teaser, start with some jokes and story, right? They are very good at giving you some idea, but I find the jokes a bit lame. Maybe because of our Asian culture that is very Western. This is also called a joke. So the jokes are really not usable in their context, but they give you some idea, right? They give you some, okay, maybe approach, talk about context, right? This context there you can find a bit. Things you can ice break a little bit. I think they are pretty good. Okay, now I would say this is the pastoral calling here. I would say that this will remain as the human pastor or human pastoral care, the church leaders to do. Praying for the grieving family. Now, praying is nothing can be replaced. Okay, praying is not by doing a recording. I don't know whether you accept it, but I personally I cannot accept. I record my prayer, I send to someone, that's my prayer for you. Okay? I don't want to go into the theological argument, but to me, I find this a very different thing, right? So praying for the grieving families, I think this should be the pastoral care that we need to focus on. Now, exercising the theoretical discernment. Now, I think this is the key words here. Eventually, we are, be it you are a pastor, you are the more knowledgeable in a certain context, certain theoretical context. At the end, it's always back to you. Which one is, I would say it's correct, which one is aligned to your theoretical training, your doctrinal practices or things like that. So they can give you something, but at the end of the day, you will be the person to discern which to adapt, which one you discard, which one you use, which one you forget. All right? I think that should be the way. Even today, we have to consciously know that they are not providing the answer. They are just giving you some consideration. And it's back to you whether which one you like. And how do you interpret it? And that's your personal. All right? So offering empathetic presence, yeah, empathy. Now, you want to care a person. Later I have a slide about John Piper talk about that. So he used ChatGPT to do a prayer, to write a prayer, 30 seconds, but it's quite funny. So offering empathetic presence to be with the person or the person either with the family, and nothing can be replaced. You cannot put an AI on my computer beside you. All right, I've got 16 agents inside AI. They are with you. You don't feel it. You don't feel it, but the human touch elements. Okay? Of course, delivering spiritual conviction, this will very much remain as the pastoral, your conviction with God directly. You pray throughout the whole preparation, things like that. The interpretations, the guidance, everything. Now, that's nothing can be replaced. It's not replaceable, right? That's between your relationship between you and God. Or being you're the CG leader, you're preparing the Bible studies. I think at the end of the day, it's not you churn up, print, and then send it out, right? And you have to go through, and you have to interpret internally. Does it represent you? Does it represent what you really means? Is what you really want to bring out the message with the members in the presence of God, right? So I think this is a very overarching, the very high level to decide categorically. These are the two which I think the AI could be very helpful. The other one, I would say, just remain to be done by the human. Okay? Right? So, okay, you can draft a follow-up emails to the grieving family to do that. Yeah, absolutely, right? Let's say the pastor will do a lot of visitation, and then sometimes you felt that, I need to write some message to with the family. Imagine it's already torn, tired, and things like that. If someone can, or the AI can help you to draft a message or something, it's a wonderful, right? It's a wonderful thing. Of course, you have to go through, you have to make sure you know what it means, you add it before you send it out. All right? But do visitation, you cannot be replaced with the AI. Let's put the AI or things like that. Okay? So it's a very short, John Piper, somebody might know, and just a short clip to share what he thinks about the AI in his perspective of the AI. Okay? I think need the voice.
I asked ChatGPT. I typed in, please compose a 30-second prayer to God in the spirit and theology of Don Carson in praise to the glory of God's grace. Click. 3 seconds later, this is what I was given. Gracious Father, we bow before you, the sovereign Lord of history and redemption. From eternity past, you purposed to lavish grace upon undeserving sinners through the blood of your beloved Son. We praise you for the glory of your mercy, unearned, unmeasured, made manifest in Christ crucified and risen. May our lives, redeemed and sanctified by your Spirit, be vessels of praise to the riches of your grace. To you be glory forever and ever. Amen. That's a machine.
That's a machine.
Because I'm asking, is that praise?
That's praise.
No!
No! No.
These people, these machines, honor me with their lips and their bites. And their heart is far from me. So let's clarify the purpose of the universe, quick. I'm done. I got 19 seconds. Let's clarify. Why were you made? Words? Computers do words better than you. Seriously, better than me. Computers do words. They don't feel anything. Therefore, the universe is created to have people who feel. This is amazing. Think of it. The universe exists to have people in God's image who feel the worth of grace, who feel the glory of grace, who feel the beauty of grace, who feel the wonder of grace. And then everything in their life takes on a totally non-AI meaning of action and praise to God.
Okay, amen. So I think I love this clip in the sense that it's just a very short perspective of it. He actually unlocked our mind. I think he focused on that. I think there are two parts that really impressed me in the whole understanding. Is about first, he talked about prayer, right? Although your words and the bites are with me, but your heart is far from me. Isn't it? There's a law asked every one of us, right? I mean, we can be there to theoretically, we can say perfect theological things, prayer, things like that. But it's our hearts are not with the Lord. We probably just a machine in the perspective, right? Now, that actually in this actually it punched my heart very very deeply. What is really the second part of it? It talk about everything is about heart, the feel, right? I think that's today. I hope that will sit with you. We use AI. The more importantly, where's your hearts? Are your hearts with the Lord, or your hearts with something else? Even you use the AI, you use anything else or that piece of technology. I think important. It's about where your heart is. All right. So I think let's move on to. I'm not sure any of you who know about these two very famous painter of the artists. The left side, Picasso. 毕加索, like something like that. Picasso, very famous, right? This one, Van Gogh. Van Gogh. Now, I'm not sure how many of you who know their life experience, things like that. Now, Picasso, they're very famous. He's also very rich. When they die, he's probably a billionaire. He has sold thousands of pieces of art. Expensive. He lived a very, very good life. Of course, before he passed on, I think in like the 70s or 80s something, right, in old age. Now, Van Gogh. Anyone know about his history? Die poor. How many art he has sold?
His friend bought it. His friend bought him. His friend bought.
One piece. One piece. That's all he had in his whole life. He managed to sow, as I say. And someone who bought it is also his friend. I know at the time it was a very small friend, I think so. Right. Now the point is, there are very different life experience. If you ask the AI to think about it today, AI, do you look at it, what you want to tell me about their life experience? Guess what the AI can say? What do you think the AI would say about the life of these two painters? Now, probably the thing that they will factually, analytically, to explain to you the chronological, what happened to this, and then what happened to this, things like that. But the one thing the AI cannot do, what's the one thing the AI cannot do? The AI cannot, by looking at the two experience, cry for you. He will not weep. He will not feel sad for Van Gogh. AI doesn't have the ability, by comparing the two, if he feels sad, he will cry for Van Gogh. But human will. Will you? Will you? Yeah. I think that is the big difference with the human and AI. And AI cannot replace that. But in future, I cannot guarantee. I cannot guarantee whether one day AI will be able to have that kind of empathy angle. We'll look at this. I'm not sure, but at least I can see where it goes. It's not there yet. Not there yet, right? That's why the humans are still very much needed. We do it in the human ministry. What matters are really the relationship, the touch that you have, the companion, the being with the person. That say a lot about it, rather than you offer perfect. I think we all done it before, right? Especially you go to a grieving family, you don't offer answer, you don't offer solution, you don't tell them why it happened. Sometimes the best is listen or silent. Just silence, to be with the person, the grieving family. That's the best. The AI cannot do it. Okay? So I think for the rest, I will just need to, for those who are really into it, right? So how can I use the AI to do in the church or some of the administration work? Of course, this is one example that you use to draft some message. As I shared later on, you want to draft a message to send to the grieving family. You can just put in AI we call a prompt. Prompt means it's like instruction. You want to give AI to do something for you. You just write something like this, right? I just finished a heavy hospital visit with a family who lost a loved one. I'm drained. Draft a gentle 3-paragraph follow-up email expressing gratitude for being with them. A brief reminder of God's comfort and things like that. Blah, blah, blah. I'm going to pray for them. Okay? So this is the prompt. That means the inputs you provide the AI to give you, hopefully it will draft you. I mean, surely they will draft you a message based on your inputs or instruction. Okay? Now, this is a very good way of talking. It's not that your MBA student, okay, drop me a message. You don't know, just drop lah. It's a come back from hospital, you don't know how to drop? You don't know how to drop? That's not the way. That's not a way to talk to the AI, right? That's not a way. But you need to provide the proper context. I'm tired, things like that, right? Please help me to do something, right? Then they're very good at understanding. Then we try to bring a bit of elements into this, the whole context. That's why if we're able to write very good prompt, you will get a very good result. Garbage in, will garbage out. All right. So of course, in the course of my teaching, I teach how to write prompt for different purposes, how to structure it better. Right. So I guess that's I think it can help the pastor to offload a lot of administration things. I can help you to draft, after you just take a look, right? Then you need to do editing before you send it out. Okay. I think that's also the way thinking about how are you for your teams, administration, the church administration. Now, how do you actually help them to have more time savings to do some of the things? I'm not sure about your church, but I think most of the church that I know, I've been to, I've talked to, they always say people not enough. My work always be higher than my desk, right? My deadline always yesterday, right? Even the pastor, the admin, it's the same thing, right? So now, how do we able to help them to balance, have a bit more work-life balance by knowing how the AI to help them to shorten a certain time of preparation, and then hopefully they can save more time, something you can use about a few days to do, whether you can help them to reduce down to 1 day or in terms of hours. Now, of course, you can think of many things that can be done there, right? So I think on the so-called on the pastoral side or on the preparation of sermon or things like that, I think this is something that is not out of me. I do a bit of research on different, I have close to about 40 to 50 sources of how the AI can be used in the church and things like that, also including some of the preparations of sermon, things like that. So I consolidated this. Of course, I will get AI help me to synthesize, conceptualize, and synthesize it, So I think this is what he can come up something. It's a 4-step thing. I'm not pretend to be seminary trained, things who know the process. I think our pastor here might know the process, like when you do the exegesis, how do you prepare your sermon on that? I think that's something that, according to my research and the synthesis, that AI will be very helpful in accelerate the preparation process. Okay, first we will talk about exegetical jumpstart to look at some, if a pasture, they look at how many approach or logical flow, how many framing, how many possible options of framing, look at it. You talk prodigal son, how many angles can you come in? Maybe I talk about the elder son, maybe talk about the second, or maybe the father perspective, things like that. So they may be able to give you a very different outline or flow for you to consider. Then before you dive into the so-called the language study, you can look at maybe the original, the Latin, the Old Testament will be Hebrew, and look at the original meaning of it and all this. I think the pastor will all train in knowing all this. Okay? Then after that, you settle up all the things, the information, right? Then you talk about illustration generation. So brainstorming for fresh historical or scientific or cultural illustration. How do we actually put a bit of illustration in today's context, rather than in the time, the context, right? So I believe that the research says that in these 3 processes, the AI could be your assistant, the helpful tool for you to shorten the preparation. Okay, so I think the last thing here, this is we'll talk about the theoretical discernment here, right? That's really remain to be the human, the pastor will have to thinking about the interpretations of all this and the application side, the message that you want to bring forth to the members, to the congregation, to the church. I think this will very much remain to be the human pastor to take care of it. Right, so I would say that is, that's the way I think the AI will be helpful. Just for comparison, I'm not here to do asking your pastor, right? So typical, the one that I know very closely, who also use the AI, of course he's a pastor, he was sharing with me, of course, he said in one sermon usually it will take about, now I'm not referencing to anything, so about close to about 40 to 50 hours in total. 40 to 50 hours in like reading out and things like that. They do all the process for the out there. So he'll say that with that help, he actually can cut down to at least about, you can say about 50% of time. Because he said this is the most draining part. Draining in terms of taking a lot of time. He said, I already use some of the tool out there, the Logos tool, they cover some for you to do concordance, some search. Even with that, he will take about 40 to 50 hours. I think with the AI, I think he shared with me there are 2 aspects that is very helpful. First, to cut down on the time. Second, it provides different perspective. Because sometimes you say, I always look at this story from one perspective. I don't know what other angle I can look at it. So the AI will be very helpful to suggesting some other perspective. Maybe you can look at the other angle, look at it. So I think that's fine that he said he make his sermon a bit richer and also can reach a different audience. Okay? So I hope that will make sense to you. Now, I think this is important. At the end of the day, right, we are saving all this time and whatever. Hopefully we're able to serve our members better or serve the people. Spend more time in praying, spend more time with being with them, touching life and things like that. That should be the motivation. That should be how we should position it, whether you're a pastor or non-pastoral staff. I think that should be the way to go. Okay? I hope that will give you correct framing for the entire, when I'm sharing this. Right. Okay, now let's come to the church level. What should the church level will do? I think for the church level, I strongly encourage that from the church to the leaders will have to start having this conversation to decide how can the AI be used in the church, and also including what the AI should not be used in a particular area. All right, I think strongly encourage the church leaders to have this conversation so that everyone is on the same page, so that we all can grow together, and knowing that I'm not suspecting you to things like that. So at least we all can better use of how the AI can help to grow the ministry, things like that. So with that, right, I strongly encourage the church to have a one policy statement, or maybe for some do's and don'ts, just as those like company will have like employees handbook, code of conduct. For those in the corporate, do's and don'ts for the staff or certain manager, what can you do? Maybe you simplify it, do something that have a church AI policies will say, all right, so what can be the AI help, and also can highlight what are the danger area, call risks, okay, exposure. If you use AI to do certain things, what are the things that we are exposed to? Privacy, maybe some data that you're not supposed to send out up to the cloud or AI to read or things like that, right? Now, definitely something you send to the ChatGPT, there's no secret, all right? They will not tell you who will access, or someone will have access to the information, right? So I think that's a very important as a level. The church leader will have to decide, okay, what kind of information we can use to use AI to help, and whatever will not. At least everyone will be on the same page. Now, I think this is my experience when I do a training for one mission organization. They are doing a lot of micro projects in some of this country in Indochina, the Thailand, and things like that. Because of some sensitivity of some location, even with some of the names of the person, the mission worker, things like that, right? So we had this conversation. I had a conversation with the team then they ask question, what can I do if I cannot expose certain location, but I need them to generate certain newsletter, right? For the monthly newsletter for the donors and things like that, right? So I think this is where we have a conversation, right? Okay, what can you do with that? Masking it, or maybe someone name, you change the name. We like to say China, Mutu, Tan Akau, and who else? Ali. Whatever, right? Or you change the location, right? But it can help you to generate the newsletter, but later you will do a bit of replacement, things like that. So we do have this conversation with the mission organization. We are a bit more sensitive about their mission work data, right? So this is something that I think the church should have that kind of conversation to help the workers, administration, co-workers in the church to have clarity on that. Yeah, I think this is something like you might need to highlight what are the things that you cannot use it for, what are the things will be remain as the gray area, remain something that you need to handle with care, all right? Something that it should be green, that means to safe to process. All right, just for name out, some of you cannot see. For the red ones, like confidential pastoral counseling notes, name of the congregants, sensitive medical information, or some personal data, or it should not be used the AI to process or send up a copy to them. Okay, yellow one, difficult, the staff scenario, some of the staff information, demographic trends, and this depends the point is the church will have to decide what are the AI you cannot touch, certain things data you cannot process, or certain things you cannot use it for whatever purpose, and what are things considered yellow, used with care, cautious, and what are the green. Okay, all the administrative work, maybe you will all belong to the green, something like that, right? So you help the church to have clarity on this. All right, so I think this is what I actually come up with for process of ensure integrity in. It can be in your. I would say I put it as a pulpit that I said a bit, but I think it can equally apply to when you're preparing Bible study or preparing anything that's for the church, right? Especially on some biblical studies, things like that. I do recommend that to have, instead of have what you usually will ask the AI will do, like tomorrow I'm preparing for my CG Bible study on maybe on Romans chapter 12, 1 and 2, right? Please give me, generate a Bible study material for group, full stop. And then come up, and then, okay, go. Now, that's not a correct way because there are a lot of things that are missing in the whole thing here. The whole thing here. That's why I kind of actually come up with certain when I teach when I do training for the church and missionary. I suggest that instead of just ask a very simple, maybe you do 4 steps. First step, you do a draft, whatever you want. You give a context you want to draft. Okay, either you draft first. Second, and then you need to provide a bit of theological review. Means that you can provide, there's just like John Piper would say, right? You can use a certain context that can use someone, or for me, we are from Reform Evangelical. Then we can say, okay, maybe Reform Evangelical, more aligned. Can you actually check the text to be more aligned with Reform or theological doctrine perspective? So they will do a bit of high-level check for you. Okay? Maybe for you guys will be the Lutheran, the certain doctrine or certain sources. You can ask them to do some review and give you some perspective. They will do it frankly. They will do it. They may not be 100% accurate, 100% cover everything, but do they do a quite decent, good job, I believe, to give you a bit different perspective. Maybe some of the stuff may be a bit off. They suggest you can do some changes. Now, it forces you to think, and you have to learn also. You're not sure, you also go and learn from it, right? Before you think. So I think you do a generation, you do a theological review, and then pastoral customization. So this is where the localized, and then you need to put it in illustration that apply to the audience, the church, or what you are the Bible study for, what are the use of the document, right? Try to customize it. I say, okay, maybe you change a little bit to more adapt to a certain context or certain setting, right? Before, then you do a final output check. Okay, you can apply in your Bible study preparation, the work preparation. It can be relating to some the sermon, or can be some articles that you run. I think this is the 4 process I will recommend that. Anyway, I checked with my friend. My says, okay, I can go. He's a pastor. I think this is they say that, I also do that, in our own practices. He will always ask to check again. So this is quite aligned to one of the pastors I close to of the process. I thought that it's good to share that with you. Okay, got some prompts. This is where that you want to have a better to talk to work with the AI, the MBA intern we talk about. Then you need to know how to write prompts. Right? Prompts basically is just give an instruction, the context to the AI to do the things that you want it to do, to be generate a message or do something. Right? So some of the prompts will be important for you to learn. Instead of just a very one-liner, so you can learn how to write a different. Just like. I think the whole idea is, okay, going back to the MBA interns, I talk about MBA interns, right? So assuming that he got a distinction on the MBA degree, but he has no life experience first, but he doesn't know you well. He doesn't understand your family or your whatever value, things like that, right? So you are the one, you will want to ask the person to do work for you, right? So what will you do? Okay? You're not just give one line, you expect the person to know everything and do one nicely, everything correct. It's kind of unthinkable, right? Because he doesn't know your preference, things like that. So think it like that. So what you do is, you have to start how to delegate the work. By delegate, that means you need to write down your own instruction. How should I actually delegate? How do I actually explain my delegation of this task to this intern, right? This is exactly what you need to talk to the AI like this. Okay, you need to your mind is to be very clear. Okay, I want to tell this AI to help me do this. You need to delegate the task to it to do, right? So you have to give a description. The better the description is, the better the result. Sometimes you may do a few rounds, yes, but I think eventually he will get a bit smarter knowing your preference. They remember your preference. That's something that for you to know. Then the more you use it, they know your preference. Then they will more accurate to give you the result that you want. Okay, so I'm sharing this on the behavior of the AI. That's you can really benefit from it. Okay, so I think this is the very simple, the 4 structure of prompt. I think it's a good practice that write the prompt to talk to AI to right. You need to give these 4 things to the AI. First, you need to tell who you are. Okay, your persona, right? And not your persona, not who am I, right? You have to ask AI, right? First of all, imagine that you could think about you are the expert, right? Before you ask the person to do something. So, but it help a lot. The result is improved. So that now you are okay. In church context, we would say that you prepare the sermon outline, things like that. I would say, you are a seminary trained pastor. Okay? I mean, what you're telling is that this is your role. Think about your role. Then you ask them, what you next is, give them a task. Give it a task, what you want it to do, it has to relate to the role. Okay? So after you describe the task, and give a bit of background information. How does task relate to what you want to do? What is the context of this task? All right. Is it for sharing? Is it meant to be in conference? Or is it meant to be what? Or what are the objective? Or what you want to do? Who are your audience? Things like that. So you need to provide a bit richer context so that the AI will know how to position it. Right? And then the last thing will be the format. How you want it to be like, the outline, at the end of the day. Sometimes the ChatGPT tends to be very chum here, I just ask you very simple one, you give me 2,000 words, like stop that. Why? Because your prompt is too short, right? Too vague, too confusing, right? And then suddenly give you a lot of dictionaries, right? Now, this is where you can control. Okay, I want it to be 300 words. I want it to be 500 words. I want it to be bullet point. I want it to be like presentation type. I want it to be narrative. How you want to be? I want it to be in table form. This is where you need to tell it. Then so they will generate. Then it will line up or organize all the information as per what you provided. Okay. So I think if you know these 4, right? You can walk around the world. 走天下, the Cantonese say, you can. Generally, it won't be so far off. You know about these 4. Okay. So trying to use this, think about first, okay, assign a role, then what you want it to do, right? Give a bit more information. What's the purpose of you doing this? What is the purpose for it to join this? Is for what? Who will read it? Who will want it? What's the purpose, right? Right. Then we talk about how many words, or at the end, you can say how many words of that. Now, if you create something for the children, this is where you have to tell, all right? So my audience are actually between 6 to 12 age. Then everything will change to be very simple English for you. We will not have a very thin words, right? So this is where you need to do to tell the AI. Okay? So I think this is an example for the PDCF, like the joyful pastor known for the sincere encouragement. So that means you try to actually set certain tone of the writing, right? Write a 3-paragraph thank you note, right? That's the task. Now, what's the context? To the tech AV volunteers, maybe like Rose, who managed the live stream flawlessly during a busy Esther service, right? So the context here will be because of that, you need to actually write a gratitude notes to this, right? This is the whole context, the purpose of writing the thank you note, right? Format will be keep the tone warm, of course, highlight their specific impact and avoid cliches. Okay? So this is the format and constraint the style, and then things like that, right? Do you think the AI can do quite a good job? Instead of say, please write me 3 paragraph thank you note for my AD team. You still write quite very generic. So, thank you, AV, for your what contribution? Thank you. Or thank you for hard work or things like that. Full stop. But with all this information, I think he will do a lot more deep into that, more into that emotions of it, right? Okay. So yeah, I think come to the first part. I want to end here. It's already about 1 hour, so we'll see how we want to take it on. Yeah, I think for the last thing for the church to consider is something that first, I think the church have to have a conversation, right? So can we, I'm sure you guys already use some AI. I look at your multimedia team, fantastic, you use all the voiceover. It's just that I have to get used to the different accents and things like that, right? So I see all of you are using a lot of animation, using video, AI to generate video, voiceover, things like that, right? I think this is a very no controversial area, right? I think poster, everything. I think for the poster, I love a poster generated by Rose. You are the one you generate the reels and all this. Yeah. So far, I think I just give an outline. I think the next few minutes or something.
I just tell ChatGPT,
Yeah.
give me a catchy title.
Yeah. At least don't tell me that, okay, I will send to you within 3 days. Okay, I think that's something really, really helpful on that. Of course, it will make things much smoother than that. Right? But I think in the church, overall, I think should think about, all right, once you come into the more human ministry, what the AI can help, what the AI maybe use it with caution or things like that. At least we have some. We try to create some, this is a very AI playbook. Playbook is just to create some guidelines, do's and don'ts. The AI can use it to generate poster, outreaching poster, the video, things like that. Or AI cannot generate a prayer or video to pray for people, or auto call video. I don't know whether you accept. I don't accept auto call over the recording. I'm not sure. Right? So again, there's a lot of dispute going on. Recording auto call, will they consider things like that, right? Another side will they consider? But anyway, we put it aside. But I think as a church have to start having clarity what the AI can help to generate certain things. I think to take it from there, right? So I think I will pause for a while. I think if some of you have more questions on this, I will want to take it on before I go on the next session. Maybe I'll take. Anyone have any questions? Don't be shy. Just ask. Anyone? Anyone? Use AI to do your plan, your trip. Okay. Anyone? Yes.
Okay, let's say I feel that I just want to share something that I do use AI in my work, but I think
Yeah. I will repeat the question. I will repeat the question later so that you know.
many times we need to also check the accuracy. But my worry is there are times that we don't even know what is right and what is wrong. Yeah.
Okay. Good question. I think the sister asked that. Yeah, we can use the ChatGPT to generate all things, right? Text, right? But what if I do not know whether it's correct or not? So what can I do? Anyone? Okay, I share with you the Cantonese saying. Sorry, I may be a bit blunt. Forgive me. But Cantonese. try not to 唔識扮代表啊。識少少啊，係嘛？You know. Okay. That's not a way to use AI. Okay. Not the way to pump yourself up. You're not. Okay. Don't do that. I would strongly don't use AI to. You do not know something, but you want to pretend to know. Someone asks you to do, and then you go and generate something and then send it out. Or no. This is not. This is not a way. But it will be very helpful if I know something, but I do not know the entire thing. Okay? Then I will ask it to help me. First of all, don't. That's why I said don't look for answer first. Don't look for answer. Look for understanding first. Look for understanding first. Okay? Maybe I'll give you an example. If let's say I do not know how the counseling works, let's say today I really want to think about whether counseling is suitable for me or not. Okay, I'm not sure. But of course I know a bit counseling, what they are about, but in terms of whole situation, right? So I will not ask first AI, I'm now working at this with how many years of experience in IT and all this, right? Do you think I'm suitable for counseling? Or can you give me something, I want to go for counseling. Tell me these are all the steps I need to do. I need to prepare. Okay? After Janet, wow, I say 20 steps. And you don't know whether I want to do or not. I only know one step. The 19, I'm not sure whether they are correct. Right? Now, that's the way you ask the AI. But first of all, you should start thinking about, you should start having a brainstorming. It's like, okay, just share the problem. I continue, well, I'm not sure about, I know a little bit about counseling things there, but I don't know entire thing about, but I'm preparing myself whether I should go into the full-time study or full-time ministry in counseling. Please guide me step by step, or tell me step by step to help me to see what it is all about. And then you will first come up from very broad, will start coming down into the different section to guide you your understanding. Basically, you give you a crash course about what is it all about. Then you know everything, you understand already, you continue to ask certain part, you drill. At the end, you might be spending about 1 hour talking to it. The purpose is to, now I know, okay, this is all the 20 steps I need to do, and also know why these 20 steps are important. Then I will decide what is my answer, or whether should I go. Okay, I hope that answer that. Don't use something something you're not sure but too risky. Okay. Right. Okay. Now, if you have no question, you start thinking. Let me just go into the second session. Second session is just about. There's something just to share with you right now. You know the whole world now, China and US not only fighting on the geopolitical and whole AI, they are all in the basketball court. Okay? All the ChatGPT, Anthropic, Meta, all from US, blue team, and the red team from China, got DeepSeek, Kimi, Minimax, Quen is for Alibaba, GLM. Now they are head on the fight. And then who wins? I do not know, right? They are fighting head on now, right? So I have something, but this one I will make it available. I have some information about, previously there are a lot will ask, hey, which one is good, Gemini or ChatGPT or Claude, what are they good at? So I have this summary for you. So if you are already playing, you want to know more about, I think you can approach Rose, so we can, he has a copy, then you can share that with you. Okay, but they all have different strength. All have a different strength. They are not. There's no one winner. From China side, okay, they are also, but they all really are very different things. They are not having equal. All right. I think most of you heard about DeepSeek, right? DeepSeek are very good being your mate. I would say, okay, be careful, not soulmate. Okay. DeepSeek are very good. I like chatting with DeepSeek because he's a bit 有深度. He talk to you, right? First of all, don't answer you first. He will kind of unpack your I know why you ask the questions. I know you ask the question and things like that. This is a very interesting question. The question can be seen in this angle, before jump into the answer. So you like to talk to people like that, right? Yeah. So you like to have some chat with DeepSeek will be good. I always play with DeepSeek. They say, Trump 2.0 and 2.1. Hey, what's the difference between Trump 2.0 and 2.1? So he have a very deep conversation with it to understand of it. So it's not like give you a yes or no answer. No, he doesn't give you yes or no answer. Always give you perspective of things, right? So I learned a lot more from DeepSeek. Okay, so you can have an exposure to use some of this lah. Okay, now the next I want to share with you are some survey done with more than 100 of pastoral staff, mostly in Singapore. Of course, I think more than 100. I think they are demographics of it. They have actually done the survey on what do they use ChatGPT AI for, and then what are the mostly they use for, and what are their worries. Okay, so I hope that I will share that with you. Chatham House rules apply is, okay, simple terms. Because the problem, because I haven't got time to get I already scheduled to check the person who done it, but he doesn't mind, he published on the website, his blog, but I forgot to share some of the slide, some of the graph, right? But right, I have to get a proper clearance from him before I share, but I already connected to him already, it's just I don't have time. So whatever you hear, few things here. You can capture what you understand what it is, but you cannot quote me say. All right. Anyway, there's no other entity inside lah. Okay, you know it's from Singapore. That's all. He said somebody shared. I know somebody said that. Okay, somebody lah. So my name is somebody. Then okay already right. Now a bit small, but let me read it up for you. Okay, the first question I asked, right? Yeah, I can't see, right? Okay. Thank you for your feedback. Okay, now you look at the different. Okay, first question: how do you personally feel about using AI in church ministry? The feeling first. How do you feel? Okay, now the different color means there are different roles in the church. The blue ones are the senior pastor, the preacher. Okay, red ones are the church leader. This one is the staff, members. There's some other volunteers, things like that. So I think mostly we'll focus on the blue and yellow. Now, where are they the feeling on? Excited. Wow. It offers new opportunities. Okay? So majority will say that, and then, but there's another majority group say that cautious, it could be used but risky. Okay, understand? All right? So this one is very excited. This one, okay, very good, but there's a risk. There's a problem. This one, neutral. Okay? Now, I think generally speaking, I think we are quite, the group of them are quite positive about AI, right? They don't think something is I don't think there's a stopper. Okay? They are quite okay about it. Okay, I go to the next one. Now, in which area AI is currently being used? Administration, communication. Okay, should be okay. Administration, writing emails, drafting emails, answering some questions and bulletins, some drafting messages. I think summon research and preparation. Summon research and preparation is quite high. Social media and outreach content is also very high. Worship, media and design. Anyone from the multimedia team? No, you are a representative. Okay, good. Okay, outreach, multimedia teams, data analytics for reporting, so things like that. So I think it's pretty positive to me. I look at it from that, so it's quite a quite positive view on that. Okay, what benefits have you noticed from using AI? Again, what benefits have you noticed on using AI? So the highest one, most of them will say save time and effort. I think we agree. improve creativity and presentation quality. I think we also agree. I will agree, right? It helps the creativity, presentations, and generally help people feel a bit more attached, more relate to the church. Provide better insights and analytics. Okay, you use it for some analytics or things like that, right? Feedback. The ones that are not really benefit are helps to reach more people. Okay, understand. Very good and ideation and proof of concept. Also, these are the quite minority. I think this is a key benefit. So I think a key benefit is about creativity, time saving, and provide a better insight. That means the better analytics lah. Okay. Yeah. What challenges or concern have you experienced? Okay. Ethical concern, the truth, authenticity, the biasness, or things like that. This is a very, very true, even in the corporate today, is still the top consideration. Okay, that's the reason why I will suggest the 4-step instead of 1-step, especially doing this. So at least do a bit of theoretical review and then do a bit of localization, do a bit of things like that. Theoretical concern, replacing human touch, okay, which I already said that for some pastoral calling, human touch I think should remain as that. I don't think that the AI can be very helpful with that. So data privacy and security, yeah, concern. So you will decide you can come up with a policy, what can you actually use the AI to, you send out to the AI, maybe the church member or shouldn't be, things like that, right? Technical challenges, okay, it's a bit technical for some of them to use, learning curve, right? The cost of it, currently a lot of free one. I think you pay for the Canva, I think. You have to pay for Canva, right? Free also for NG. Non-profit, good, that's good. Okay, I think this is some of the major, they felt that these are the major challenges. It's more relating to the biblical and theological side of it. I totally understand, I totally agree with that. Okay, we are not using AI because of all this. I think this is just on different sides of coin. Challenges also translate into why they are hesitating of using an AI, the ethical concern through authenticity bias. Hasn't think much about it. Okay, concern about the correctness of AI, the accuracy, which is understand. Technical challenges, learning curve, theological concern, all this, no confidence, things like that, etc., etc. So I guess this is to summarize that I think people are concerned and therefore not using an AI because of the ethical concern, right? Whether it aligns to our teaching, our preaching, the theoretical side, whether they are accurate. The problems are AI would it come up with something, other religious things into it, right? So this is quite a fair concern.